Happy Monday.
Welcome back
at it.
Hopefully it was a long, long weekend that you enjoyed very much and did a lot of fun things. It's Curt and Jen in the morning. This is our podcast. And give us a like, won't you? A like or a follow. We'd love that.
A like, a follow, a share. We'll take it. If you're willing to give it, we'll take it.
Absolutely, we will. So it was a long weekend of hot heat in the PNW.
Hot heat, huh?
Hot
That's
heat.
how you're going to describe it?
Did you want to put up that?
Yeah, I do. I want to show you what brings me a lot of joy. For those of you that are not watching.
That are watching.
Oh, no, for those of that are not.
Yes.
I'm going to describe this.
Go.
It is my weather app, and it is all sunshine. Full sunshine all the way down, and I love it so much.
Looks like highs are up to around 89, 90 the next couple of days. Then it's cooling down a bit to the lower 80s.
This is for the Seattle,
perfect.
Washington area, by the
Right.
way, for those of you listening in other areas. But I hear that there's a lot of parts of the country and even the world that are very hot right
that
now.
Are baking, exactly. I believe, and I don't want to get the number wrong, but I'm pretty sure that Death Valley set a record of 128. That was the all-time
You can't even
hottest.
survive in that.
Well, it's called Death Valley for a reason.
Here's a funny story. Right before we started the podcast, Curt, I was like, I want to try this without my glasses. He's like, look at you go. And I said, well, you need to make the font bigger because we have a little outline of the show.
What we're reading.
I'm like, bigger, so that I can see it.
I kept making it, okay, here's 120, here's 100, here's 200% bigger.
Well, and there's nothing wrong with glasses. It's just that when I wear the glasses, there's a glare. So when we're doing the video part of this, it doesn't look so great. But anyway.
What do you want to do? Glasses or no?
Let's
try it.
I'm just going to try it. Okay.
So 4th of July weekend, everybody, in spite of begging people to reconsider using the big boomer fireworks, they were going off again like crazy right around here. Because this is the situation with this location, with this house is I'm literally at the end of a cul-de-sac, and this little short street with the cul-de-sac is where you can actually shoot off fireworks. The other side of the street is Mill Creek.
Oh, so this is legal. You can shoot
It is
off
legal.
Yes! I'm coming over to your house to light off fireworks.
It scares the animals too much. It scares the doggies and the cats. And I'm sorry, that's where my heart goes right away. And you talk to anybody, you know this from our years in radio. They always have the statistic that comes out this time of year that this is when you find the most stray animals because they get spooked and they just run.
You also find the most stray fingers that have been blown off.
There's that as well. Maybe a stray hand here and there.
Right.
Speaking of which, that sounded weird, didn't it?
Yes, it did.
Speaking of which, I'm pretty sure, because we had the barbecue on 4th of July. It was fantastic. Lots of...
Did you have a bunch of people over at your house and barbecuing?
For us, it was a bunch of people. For you, it would be a small gathering. What did we have? 2, 4, 6, like 7, 8 people.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, medium size.
All right.
It was awesome. Everybody brought different foods to eat. So we had chicken and I had mostly chicken.
Okay.
All right.
But there were burgers and hot dogs?
Various other meats.
Nice.
Yes, lots of
Okay.
stuff. However, there is, every now and again, the wind will blow a certain way, and there is this smell like there is something dead nearby.
Okay.
Because I'm
scared.
We have the backyard, and then I'm fortunate there's one of those protected green strips behind
Yeah,
one of those
yeah,
native
green
growth protection
belts,
areas.
yeah.
Right. I think that something back there kicked it and has been there for I don't know how long.
Did you go search for it?
Well, that's the thing. I need to do that,
But
even
you
though I
have
don't want
not.
to. Have you seen? Okay, caveat. There is a massive amount of blackberry bushes back there.
Yes, so you don't want to go tromping
I'm
through
going to
there.
go put on my Carhartt coveralls. It's not so dang hot.
You have Carhartt coveralls.
Just for this, just for going back in the prickly stuff. Yeah, it's true.
Or you need to get Pat here with his tractor with the attachment that goes on it and it just mows
Crunches
down
everything up?
everything.
There's
it's
that
this
as well.
Mega blade that just
Because my
takes down
suggestion of gasoline in a match did not go over well.
Oh,
that's a bad idea. So I'm hoping to find out. But then the wind will die down and there won't be anything for hours. And all of a sudden it's like.
But what are you going to do when you start weed whacking down the hill and you find this dead thing and it splats right in your face?
I hadn't considered it splatting right in my face.
That's what happens. I've had
dead
this
things.
happen. Okay, here's what happens
you
when I
had
weed
something-
whack. Sometimes I forget a poop pile.
Okay.
And then it splashes up in my face.
That's not the same as a dead thing, but all right.
Poop and a dead thing? What are you going to take? The poop?
Well, neither are preferable, right? We're going to try to avoid both. But I'll give you a full report if I find a dead thing or some poop back there, okay?
You're going to find poop for sure.
Aye. Yeah. But
Wow.
I mean, it is really overgrown. So I had to do this once before. I think I told you about that. We were still on the radio then. And I said, well, you said, what did you do this weekend? I was like, I went back and I chopped out all those blackberry brambles.
You have.
And in the whatever 6 or 8 months since then, it is back to fully grown over.
What sunshine and rain does.
And hiding dead things.
Sunshine and rain.
Say what?
Give it to me, raw bass.
Okay, so, but what's the...
But you went boating?
Joy and pain.
Yeah.
Yeah, we took the boat out yesterday. And surprisingly, how many people did you think would be out in the water? A ton. Nobody.
No way.
I think people were scared by the heat.
Wait, when did you go out?
We
Yesterday?
We left the marina at about 11:30, came back in at 4.
And there was like hardly anybody out?
It was a very light day in the water. That was surprising. I think that the heat scares people away.
No way.
What else could it be?
You beat the heat by going on your boat and getting in the water, people.
That's what I would say.
If you have a boat and you don't want to use it,
call
donate
Jen.
it to Jen Pirac.
Yeah, she'll text you the information. Here's where you need to send that boat.
The key is donate.
It was just a small group of people. Me and Dana, Herb, the consumer man, Herb Weisbaum, joined us.
That's nice. You know famous people.
He has an amazing way of remembering like everything. I think he's like me, but with different subjects. People ask me things like, what do I remember from science or math or college? Nothing. But who produced the first album by The Clash? Oh, I got that one. It's like stupid things that you wouldn't think you'd remember back here in the brain.
Should we recruit him to be on our trivia team?
Oh, gosh, we probably should. We just changed subjects a bit.
Okay,
However, my point is he'll be like, and I'll ask him, it's like, something will come up on the water. It's like, didn't you do a story? What Herb Weisbaum does is he does stories to help you out with consumer items and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I said, didn't you do a story on this one? He's like, oh yeah, it turns out that 80% of these do that and 90% do that and 75 do this. And it just had all the information right there, somehow stuck up in his brain. But he also admits that he remembers those things, but not the...
Back to the boat.
Okay. It was a great day on the water. There were very few people out there.
Are you going to go out again anytime soon because it's so sunshiny out for so many days in a row?
With your friend Jen? Throw that in there.
Well, no, it doesn't have to be with me. I just want to see you actually use your boat when it's so sunny.
Why does it matter to you?
But yes, if you'd like to include me, I would like to go very much.
Why does it matter to you if we just leave it there and...
Because I'm sad for the boat. The boat life is not getting the boat life it needs and deserves.
The boat needs to be on the water. It wants to be out in the water. So we'll work on that. And we'll let you know. Oh, this is one thing that was kind of surprising. We got there. I guess you'd call it the end dial. In the store, you call it the end dial. Well, at the marina, if you have a very big boat, you can put it on the very end of the dock. And our friends, Scott and Tracy, have a 90-odd foot vessel. They have
a nice boat.
You've seen it.
You can take it out. You can charter it.
It's called Private Reserve, and they do take people out on charters and stuff like that. You know what? And that's their whole life. They quit their corporate, make a lot of money jobs, and they bought this big yacht.
Big ass boat. I'm not going to lie.
And that's how they live
boat.
on it, which is awesome. However, they had to cut free their anchor on Saturday, so that was 2 days ago, because sometimes, you drop anchor, you cannot get it back up. It gets lodged on something or tangled or whatnot, and you just have to say, whoop, cut it, and away you go. Apparently, on a 90-foot yacht, an anchor is about $6,000. So, when we got there on Sunday, the day after, we're like, what do you guys do? We got to go back and get our anchor. Apparently, they hired somebody, a diver, and they have a general idea where the anchor is located, right? The diver goes down in Lake Washington, finds the anchor, and then somehow attaches an inflatable,
Oh, yeah. Yes.
like, I guess, balloon, for lack of better terms, and up it comes. That was $1,500.
So it's cheaper to do that than
buy a new $6,000 anchor. So anyway, that was the excitement from yesterday. Oh, also the dock cat. Did you meet Rue? There's a cat that runs around the dock. He's been getting on the boat. And you know how on our boat, you know how cats like to, when they get up on furniture and stuff, they take their claws and they don't scratch it, but they sort of Well, he's been doing that on the leather on our boat. So we may have to have a chat with Rue's owner and say, keep him off the boat, you guys.
I would. That's going to be expensive.
Because Rue is super cute, but that's
an expensive fix. All right.
No, that was a bit of a tear I went off on, and I apologize for that.
Let's move on. We're just talking about Curt's weekend because we got to get into the show.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Bon Jovi's new album, Forever, may set a record. How so?
It's not a good record. Bon Jovi's new album, Forever, debuted in the Billboard chart at number 5 last week. It's not unusual to have an album drop after its first week out. It debuted at number 5 last week, and this week it dropped all the way out of the top 200. It is not on the Billboard charts. It was on for a week.
Why?
Who knows? People don't like it? I don't know.
It's a new album, Forever.
Yeah. So unless it somehow, this new Bon Jovi album Forever, unless it somehow rebounds and gets back onto the chart, this will be the first Bon Jovi studio album to only last 1 week in the top 200.
Oh my God.
Although the last album only lasted 2 weeks.
So it's not like a, sorry, I've got to.
Here, I'll mute your mic. Go ahead. All right.
Okay.
So yeah.
Like it's is it all new music?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, that's too bad. Okay.
Because we like the Bon Jovis. Anyway, if you're a Bon Jovi fan, there is a new album out, and they could probably use your help if you feel like buying it.
Most American foods. Meaning, like, what are the foods that are considered, like, most American?
And we think, by the way, that was a very quick transition.
Well, we transition quickly.
We believe that this is what people in other countries and our own country would say, okay, this defines American food or what Americans eat.
And it's funny when I brought this up to you, you were like, oh, is it hot dogs? I'm like, nope.
Nope, it wasn't hot dogs.
Well, not at the top. Hot dogs is on the list at number 9.
What was the second thing I said?
I forget.
I was like, is it hot dogs? You're like, no. I think I said peanut butter and jelly.
And peanut butter and jelly is on the list at number 7. So here's the list. I'm going to go from 10. 10
Again,
is apple pie.
Most American foods that people think are American foods.
Okay, apple pie, hot dogs, mac and cheese, peanut butter and jelly, biscuits and gravy is number 6.
Wait. Biscuits and gravy.
I think that's American. You don't?
I didn't think it was that popular at all.
Cheese steaks, which I was a little surprised about.
That's
Buffalo
Philly.
wings.
That's Buffalo.
It is?
Yeah, Buffalo wings started in,
Buffalo?
New York, yeah. Like Philly cheesesteak was in Philadelphia.
Okay.
Yeah.
Barbecue in general. So anything barbecue, I guess.
Right.
Burgers at number 2 and number 1?
Fried chicken. We do love fried chicken.
A little bit of chicken fried.
Mm-hmm. Do you think that a restaurant would be successful if all it sold was fried chicken skin and nothing else?
Oh, I would.
See?
I like it.
You guys, whoever wants to take that idea and run with it, go for it. Chicken skin.
Other things that were on the list that didn't rank in the top 10, but in the top 15, chocolate chip cookies, grilled cheese sandwiches, chili, s'mores, and, which I'm surprised wasn't on the list, but it should have belonged to Italy, of course.
Anybody who said pizza, it did make the list at number 15.
Mm-hmm.
So again, foods that people say, oh yeah, those are American foods. So I wonder if, like, when I went to Great Britain, when I went to England, I was like, well, I got to have these things. I got to have their version of fish and chips, right?
Yeah.
And I got to have a pie, which I'm not talking about a pizza pie or a pie pie. I'm talking about like a pot pie.
Oh, yeah.
Like
I love me a pot pie.
That's what I think of, okay, that's English. That's food from England. So apparently if they come here and visit, they have got to have fried chicken, burgers, and apparently biscuits and gravy.
Biscuits and gravy sound really good right now. Okay.
Yeah. This is fun.
Yes.
We talked about this on
Wednesday.
Back the day
Wednesday,
before 4th
we
of July.
talked about this. What's something your parents never let you do or never let you have or do in your childhood?
We all had something that we wanted so badly at one point.
Or
your parents said,
or wanted
no.
to do or something. Yeah.
You know what it was for me?
What?
This is going to surprise you because my mom was a worrywart and she was not going to let her son have a BB gun. That's not that unusual. Or a skateboard. In my life, I've never stood on a skateboard.
Stood on one or owned one?
Well, I've never owned one.
You've never stood on your friends like, oh, my friend has one though, and I'm going to get on. I bet you.
I don't know if I have friends.
I have. You had to have.
And this is going back to when skateboards were like, 12 inches long and 3 inches wide.
Just the skinny, the little tiny ones.
So I was never allowed to have BB guns, never allowed to have skateboards. What about you? What would your parents say? No, Jennifer.
Video games. Like I wanted Atari so badly. I never got a video game console. She didn't want me frying my brain. Get your ass outside and go play.
That's a good suggestion.
So I went outside to my friend's house and played video games over
I was going to
there.
say, fried your brain someplace else.
My friend Connie had Atari, and we got real good at Donkey Kong and Frogger and Pac-Man.
Nice. Gosh, I go back to when it was just Pong.
She also had the sugar cereal, which was a treat in our house.
That's where we had people chime in, and over the weekend, you had plenty of time to think about it. 4 days. What were some things your parents never let you do or have in your childhood? And Heather said, we weren't allowed to watch MTV.
I watched MTV.
I watch my MTV.
That sucks. Heather, you did not get to watch MTV? I know, Heather. We grew up like we are in the same grade.
You're learning things now. What about Marilyn? Now, she grew up in the 60s, and she says, my folks bought a lake property at Belfair.
Ooh, okay.
And we all had to finish clearing the ferns on the lot before we could go swimming for hours. It was worth the work. So you did get to have your swim time, but you had to do some work first.
Okay.
Clear the ferns.
I like that. I like Halsey's thing. Her parents never let her have free time. And the reason being is if they kept her busy, she wouldn't get in trouble, especially with boys.
No free time meant no boys in their mind, I guess.
I love it.
That's a bummer for Halsey. Sonia also said video games.
Yep.
Randy, he's a Cookie Crisp fan, evidently, because Mom and Dad said no Cookie Crisp or any other sugary cereals. That's a big one, isn't it? Sugary cereals.
Sugary cereals is a big one. You know, Pat was funny. He was reading some of these, my boyfriend Pat, and he saw Randy's comment. He's like, "Oh, Randy said Sugar Crisp and other sugary cereals. I love Cookie Crisp so much."
I think that we drew the line. You know, this is funny because they're all evil.
Yeah.
But I think Cookie Crisp, that doesn't sound nutritious at all. But yet, Frosted Flakes, all right.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's go for it.
It's like Frosted Flakes with sugar on it.
Yeah. Poor John, wanted a drum set.
When my daughter asked for one, I was not going to deprive her of one. Now I understand why my parents wouldn't let me have one.
Lesson learned, Joe.
I love that Bill Yend wrote in.
Bill Yend, the legend. He said, I was never allowed to have a motorcycle. As a 17-year-old, I found a used bike for $125.
Wow.
When I rode into our driveway, my mother went nuts. Sure that I would kill myself. I owned that cool motorcycle for about 24 hours.
24 hours? I wonder what happened.
Bill. Yeah.
Because the mom said, get rid of it?
Motorcycles would be a big one, too, I think. Or dirt bikes, when you're a kid.
Yeah.
But this is back. This is back when we were riding bicycles with no helmets and playing on jungle gyms and stuff. You fall off, you hit what? Concrete.
Seriously, we rode in the back of trucks with
we did
no
all right.
seatbelts.
Let's do a few more here.
Okay, Rebecca said horses, and I know Rebecca now. Rebecca actually lives on a ranch, and I'm pretty sure she owns horses and a lot of other animals now.
You showed them, Rebecca. What about Anne Marie wanted to get her ears double pierced?
No, yeah, she couldn't do that.
How many piercings do you have? Just one?
I have 2 on one ear and 1 on the other.
I think Dana has 4. My wife has 4 on one ear and 1 on the other.
Leanne also said no sugar cereals and ear piercing. And then Brittany said, I couldn't go trick-or-treating while I was little.
Here's the exchange. But instead, my mom always got me a bunch of candy and whatever new Disney movie was out on VHS. Which they were not cheap back in the day, as she points out. But so she gets all the candy.
I wonder if it was because her mom didn't want to go out trick-or-treating. I don't love going trick-or-treating with the kids. I loved trick-or-treating when I was little.
Right.
But going out there, it's usually rainy here.
But we, in the 20 plus years that I've been in this house, we get, it's a little cul-de-sac. You'd think we'd have plenty of trick-or-treaters.
You don't?
Typically 3 or 4. I mean,
no way.
Well, it's sort of a self-fulfilling prophecy because now nobody in the cul-de-sac is like, okay, well, we're not going to stick around and
turn off the lights and
there you go,
shut things up.
Isn't it so often the case now that people just for many reasons, one of which is safety, just go to like Mill Creek Town Center? They'll have like people giving out things from their trunks.
Yeah, but if you have a big neighborhood, there's a lot of trick-or-treaters. Like we had a lot of trick-or-treaters when I lived in the house with the girl's dad. We had so many trick-or-treaters, but we also gave away big candy so people knew.
We tried full-size candy. That didn't work. I have a feeling that's because the other side of the main road out there is a massive neighborhood with hundreds of houses.
And so you just go to the big neighborhoods and you just hit that and then you're done.
You don't have to cross a busy street and come over here for this. What do we got, 20? So, well, I hope that Brittany turned out okay, even with no trick-or-treating as a kid.
I'm sure she did.
Thank you for sharing, and still feel free, by the way.
Always comment.
To get to Facebook or wherever and say, oh, this is what I couldn't have when I was a kid. And
Facebook or wherever. It's Facebook.
Okay.
Curt and Jen in the morning.
But I thought it was all the platforms.
I wasn't on Instagram.
Okay. All right.
Because there's only certain things you can do on certain platforms. Okay. Anyway, passive-aggressive phrases you should stop using right now.
That was another transition, by the way. Could you pause for a second? I mean, I gotta go put sounds and music and stuff in here at some point in between. Okay. You may not know that you're a passive-aggressive person. You may not even know it. And it says psychology experts. Why did it say psychologists? Psychology experts offered phrases people don't recognize are passive-aggressive and maybe should stop using. Go, Jen.
Good for you. Like, how is that used?
The way you said it was perfect. The way you said it was,
good for you.
Was passive aggressive. Well, good for you.
I'm sorry you feel that way.
That's another passive aggressive phrase.
How is that? But I'm sorry you feel that way. Like,
Well,
That's
people
passive aggressive?
They're saying people use it as a non-apology. Like, I'm not sorry for what I did, but I'm trying to sound like I am. So if somebody says, I don't like that you did this, 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 and this, and this, Jen, you say, well, I'm sorry you feel that way.
Okay. Instead of addressing and tackling the actual problem.
Right. Other passive-aggressive favorite. This one, as a passive-aggressive phrase that we're never going to get away from. And guys, I'm going to just throw this out here. Never know what our significant others are thinking when they say it's fine. It's fine.
It's fine. It's whatever.
Fine.
It's fine.
Obviously not fine.
It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
fine.
good at that one.
Well, and
whatever. Whatever.
I've been accused of being overly communicative before. That's like I got to know why you're clearly you're in a bad mood. What's going on? Nothing. It's fine. It's like
no, it's not. No, it's not.
I should have learned. It's like okay, work it out. I just walk away.
Whatever is another one that you should not use. Whatever.
That does seem pretty dismissive.
Whatever.
Right. How about if you say so? Man, that's horrible.
These are bad, and I've said these.
If you say so is dismissive, it implies you don't really believe what they're saying, and you're also shutting down the conversation.
I have not said this one. You're just too sensitive. No. Yeah.
You know what? This is because you're just too sensitive, and this is not a passive-aggressive thing, but that I think is also, falls under the category of, you know what? You need to calm down.
Oh, no.
Yes.
Don't.
Exactly. That's bad.
Don't. I will give you a little vulnerable moment for myself.
Okay.
So, a couple weeks ago, I had said that I was having a bad week, and one of the things was Pat and I were in an argument, a little bit of an argument. It wasn't terrible, but when we got it, we kind of got into it to get it resolved, and he's like, you're being passive-aggressive, and I'm like, I'm not being passive-aggressive, and he's like, go look it up. So I did. I looked it up, and he was surprised I looked it up. He was like, thank you for not just saying you were going to look it up and actually look it up, because I started crying when I looked up passive-aggressive for real, because I don't want to be that way, and I was 100% being that way. I mean, I owned up to it, but there was a whole definition of different things that passive-aggressive behaviors.
Right.
And I've said some of these things before, and so now I'm more self-aware.
So just be aggressive. Get rid of the passive part.
Be aggressive. Well, really, yeah. I mean, confront the issues and not be just passive about it.
Just put it out there and say, we need to talk about this.
Yeah.
Easier said than done, though, right?
Yeah. And don't ignore people because you don't, you're pissed at them and all the things.
So there's a wishing well.
There's a song that's wishing well, Terrence Trent D'Arby.
Yeah, like a man, yeah, Dylan time underneath. Yeah. That guy who made the unfortunate quote one time that he was bigger than the Beatles, and people did not like that.
Oh, come on, Terrence.
Where's your second or third signal? This is a wishing well in England. It's been there for 2,000 years.
2,000?
An old Roman bathhouse, part of an old Roman bathhouse. The well has been in Bath, England, and it's 2,000 years old. So people, of course, what do you do when you see a wishing well? You throw in a coin and make a wish. You throw in a penny and make a wish.
Yeah, don't tell what is happening.
Well, they switched their wishing well from being a coin-operated thing to contactless payments.
What?
So, the old, we've seen it in movies. Oh, hey, there's a wishing well. I'm going to throw in a coin for good luck.
You even do it at Disneyland in the pond, like over the bridge. And
during the pandemic, they switched to contactless payments in 2022, and they've stuck with that ever since then. So you can still make a wish or donation for good luck. However, you don't drop your coin in the well. You drop it in a box or use a credit card to donate, which obviously does not have the same appeal as tossing a coin into the well.
Wait. You can drop a coin into a box?
Yeah.
Or use a credit card to donate?
Right.
But what is the difference between... I don't get that.
I'll get down to that part.
Okay.
Now, this is not the officials that made this change. First of all, maybe the contactless thing during COVID. Okay, people aren't going out. I don't know. They did not make the change just to be jerks. The tradition of tossing coins was damaging the bath structure, and also the process of retrieving and cleaning the coins was not cheap. So that's why they did it. However, the donations that they used to get, when people were throwing coins into this thing, they were getting like $133,000 a year or pounds.
That's significant.
Yeah. Then the 2022 came. They went to the contactless payments for COVID.
That was a yawn. What's going on?
Sorry. It fell to $14,000, down from $133,000 after the change, and it's looking like they'll bring in even less this year.
Financial experts would say that is
a bad investment?
Yes.
If you're the one who owns the the bathhouse fountain. There are some people that think it's overkill. There's a group called Payment Choice Alliance. They're advocating for keeping cash as an option. We're going to read the quote from Payment Choice Alliance.
A child making a wish with a contactless card does not have the same magical appeal. What's next? The Tooth Fairy goes cashless? Mm-hmm. I mean, I agree. Like, there's something magical about taking a coin, flipping in the water, and making a wish.
Absolutely.
Not running a credit card through a machine saying, "Oh, I'm making a wish."
And so if you so are you? People are actually doing credit cards for a penny or a nickel.
Just no.
All right.
I think that they were hoping if people use credit cards that they would be donating a lot more than just pennies, right?
Too.
But those this is a good lesson. Pennies add up.
Well, to $133,000 a year, if you have an old bathhouse.
I wish my change jar was $133,000 a year.
Long-term goal for your coin change.
Okay.
This started with you coming in today. Look at my arm.
So here's the deal. I was in the sunshine all week last week. I was in, last weekend, the dunes in Moses Lake, and then we went right from the dunes to Lake Chelan and Manson. And it was all hot and sunshiny, and we were on a boat, and it was delightful.
And you have a nice little golden glow.
The problem is I have a brown spot on my arm, and I use sunscreen. By the way, I use sunscreen.
Got to use sunscreen.
At least 30. I use it on my face every day. When I'm in the sun, and on the boat especially, my arms, but I have this brown spot, and this shows age.
Did that just pop up over the last 3 days?
Yes.
Okay.
I hate it so much, and I'm like, how do I get rid of this? So I went online and how do I get rid of brown spots on my arms?
What did you find? There was some sort of unusual hack.
They said don't laser it off. I didn't even read that. I'm like, I can't even afford lasering anyway. So give me something else I can do.
What was the secret?
So the thing that I landed on that I am going to try, and I will let you know if it works, is I'm going to mix apple cider vinegar with a little water and put it on my skin, and it's supposed to break down and make it at least lighter.
Okay.
Gross. I hate that I have that.
It's not really.
No, it is. That says you're old. Right there, it says you're old. So I'm going to try to change it.
I'm not saying anything about that.
But you then said, well, what are some other beauty hacks? I'm like,
I thought this is a great idea.
Let me tell you, Curt. So we all started looking up
beauty
things.
hacks. Well, because Dana uses this stone. It's like a flat. I mean, it'd be a great rock for skipping across the water. It's just like a flat.
Oh, but it's polished, right?
Yes, exactly.
And she uses it on her skin?
You're supposed to put it on your face somehow.
It drains, I think, things. I want to get her in here and find out what it does.
Well, aside from that, we have some other interesting hacks that are supposed to work. And you're talking about the same type of thing on your face. They say milk ice cubes.
What? Tell me more.
You fill an ice cube tray with milk, you freeze it, then gently rub the milk ice cubes all over your face, focusing on areas where you want extra hydration or soothing.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
There's something that they're calling face yoga. Face yoga exercises help lift and sculpt your face, from activating those cheekbones to banishing that double chin. Face yoga rejuvenates your complexion and promotes a natural youthful glow.
Okay.
All right. There's another thing. What are you looking up?
I'm texting your wife right now.
Oh, saying, hey, what about this?
Come in.
Okay. How about we get to this one you found? This was one that you've done, right? This is a way to get rid of frizzy hair.
Oh, I did that this morning. I think it worked actually pretty well. To tackle frizzy hair, you can just use, in a pinch, you can just, hairspray is the easiest way to get rid of it.
Right.
But if you don't want to do a lot of hairspray, you can just put a little hand cream, like some lotion, and just kind of put it on the frizzies, and it keeps them in place. Should do the trick.
Awesome. I try for
frizzies.
I go for funky frizzies. That's what I want.
Okay.
All right. Secret.
Oh, this one I like. I found this one.
The secret to quickly patching up chipped polish.
Yeah. So I don't like to paint my nails because it chips too easily, and it's a lot of work, and then they chip right away. Unless you use dip and all that, but then that ruins my nails. It just. All
right.
Okay. Sparkles. Just paint some sparkle nail polish over the chip, and it hides it.
So part of your nail will be red nail polish, and a little part will be sparkles.
Well, I think that what I would do is I'd probably put a sparkle layer over all of them.
Oh, okay.
To cover that up. It makes it last longer.
Isn't that just like repainting your nails?
Kind of.
All right.
You're right.
Sorry, I'm not trying to challenge this.
You are. And it's right.
Polish.
You're right. Glitter polish will do the trick, though.
How about finally common kitchen ingredients for hydrating your skin?
Oh, yes. Mm-hmm. So you can use coconut oil or grapeseed oil. Do you have those things in your pantry?
Probably. I'm not allowed to go in there. That's dangerous.
Well, there's usually kitchen staples, and they're both ideal to use all over the body. Oh, Dana, come in. We have a question for you. We're doing beauty hacks right now, and Curt said you use a stone on your face. Is it a certain kind of stone?
It's like a Gia stone or something.
A Gia stone. And what do you like? What do you do with it?
Yeah, it's to release the lymph nodes.
I told you to drain stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you go up or down? Does it matter?
I don't think it matters. I go all ways.
All the
Okay.
different
But then you
directions.
drain the lymph by going down.
By
That's
going
right.
down.
That's what this is for. Because I see you doing that, and I did. I don't even ask questions because I'm sure. I mean, it's working. You're a fabulous looking woman. You're super attractive. My favorite.
She is tan. You look golden.
I know she is.
Nice.
Sorry, she's got to stay.
Sun-kissed.
She wants to stay off camera because she just woke up. So
Thanks, Dana.
You'll recognize
Thanks,
and appreciate
Dana.
that.
We love you.
I can't remember the name of the stone though,
But it is a certain kind of stone.
yeah.
Can you bring?
It's like a jade stone.
Yeah, I was going to say I've done jade before. They on the roller things.
All right. Good
Okay.
tip. Thank you. So that leads to we want to know more.
Yeah, what are your beauty hacks that you use that work for you? Like we know, I don't even know if any of these are going to work.
Right.
Really.
And I think we're going for the kind of uncommon things, right? That people didn't. You never thought about this, but you can take an electrical cord and blah blah. Blah. I don't know, but just
Health and beauty
unusual
hacks,
things,
specifically health and beauty.
right? And
And if you have another idea of how to get rid of this spot on my arm,
do you want to put
I'm
that
all
up
for
close
it.
for the people that are watching to see or not?
I did. It's gross. I hate it.
Well, I've got some of those. I think.
Hey, Jen, you're so old. You have freckles. This
Yeah.
is different than a freckle. I have freckles too. This is different.
Why don't you tell
this
people
is an age spot.
Why don't you tell people it's a beauty mark?
No, it's not though.
Go for it. What are they going to challenge you? Like, here's my beauty mark.
No, not going to do it. Okay, so that's what I'd like to know. Please, health and beauty hacks, and I'll try to use them.
Please, and you can chime in on that where we're going to post it. Well, I guess they do it right here.
But you could comment on whatever platform you're using, or
Right.
you can go to Facebook, Curt and Jen in the Morning Facebook.
Okay. You can do a little video.
Yeah, I'll do a little video or Instagram.
Okay.
I'll try to do it on Instagram too. I'll try to do it on both.
All the above. But
In
again,
the
your beauty
meantime,
hacks.
yeah, stay cool because it is hot. Stay hydrated. Use your sunscreen so you don't get age spots on your skin.
And go,
Actually,
by the
just
way,
stay out of the sun in general. You're
I
supposed
have
to.
a tip.
You do?
I just found out. You go higher SPF than you think you're going to need because apparently the SPF rules are kind of loose. So if it says it's 50 SPF, it may only be 42. That's not as big of a deal as if it says it's 15 SPF that you're using and it's actually only 8.
How can they advertise something or
I don't know anything more
package
than that. I
a
just
product
heard
that is not what?
I just heard that sometimes the SPF is not as high as the label may say it is. So
All right.
if you're in doubt, go with more.
Well, I'm all about enjoying this sunshine because I
Yes.
love the summertime. But stay cool in it. Make good choices. Find that joy in the sunshine and spread kindness.